Hi! So, if you're a manager, you probably have had the challenge of finding the balance between keeping your team accountable and also letting them do the work the way they feel is best, as long as they bring the results. What happens when your team does not come through with the commitments that they have made? Here are a few tips that may be useful for you to strategize and figure out how to manage the team. Keep them accountable while you continue to give them the independence they need to do their work.
Tip number one, get buy-in and engagement. Facilitate a conversation with your team and ask provoking questions that get to the root of what you are trying to do. For example, things like, why are we a team? Why is our work important? Why does it matter? Or even when you're making a decision, why are we making this decision? Who are we serving? These are important questions to pose so that your team has input into the conversation. It is important also to develop shared goals. Open the space for new ideas and opinions and make sure that everyone in the team knows that their input is valuable. Also, allow for the team to decide on priorities when possible. But if they can't get to decide, don't offer your team the option of voting because at the end the decision might be yours or someone else's. Tip number two, set clear expectations. So that your team knows what is expected of them, they need from you clarity and direction. Knowing the who, the what, and the when is essential. For example, instead of saying, I need this project done by the end of the week, it is better to say, I need this PowerPoint done by Maria in my inbox by Friday at noon. That way your team will know what is it that is expected from them and when is the deadline. Also, have your team agree on how to track work progress and deliverables. Have your team create their own timeline and allow for flexibility and a plan B if the timeline needs to be modified. Demonstrate trust. Model the behavior that you expect and own your own mistakes. Allow for your team to also make mistakes and post them as a learning experience. A great phrase to use is, what is it that we can learn from what just happened? If there is conflict within your team, address it immediately and encourage open dialogue. Tip number three, help your team hold each other accountable. Encourage your team to work side by side and delegate work fairly and balance the easy and challenging tasks. Nobody likes those who take advantage of others' works or take credit for the work other people have done. So delegation and acknowledgement here are key. Make sure they know they can come to you with any questions and encourage feedback. When you get it, be sure to address it and explain what you intended to do. Clarify and repeat the message instructions and circle back. Last but not least, be clear about the consequences for underperformance and engage those difficult team members. Tip number four, take time to celebrate your wins. Happens way too often that we move from task to task without acknowledging the work that has been done. So it is important for you to pause and celebrate activities among your teams. Reward that strong performance, whether it's individual performance or group performance. Acknowledge your team's accomplishments publicly. And also celebrate the learning experiences. Ask your team how they want to be celebrated and enjoy those little wins. I hope you found these 4 tips useful. Please connect with me. You can find all my information on my website, yvonnesuco.com. See you soon.